All right, guys, welcome back to the Daily Mastermind. George Wright III with your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and education. I want to talk to you today because I believe a lot of you feel sort of stuck and you're finding ways, you're looking for ways in order to get started. And it's a Monday morning, so I want to make sure that you get your week off to a right start. So sometimes we're working on all the right things, but we just need a hard reset. Sometimes we are going through the motions, we feel productive, but we really want to find some ways to shake things up. And so today I want to talk to you about some tangible strategies that you can use for self-assessment and practical results, things that can change things in your life. So I'm down here in Scottsdale at one of our businesses that we opened up recently. So I've had a chance to sort of sit back and analyze some different things in my business, and I think you do that as well on occasion. So I want to kind of talk to you about things. There's been a lot of times in my life that I've felt overwhelmed or even stuck. Sometimes you get these huge amounts of productivity, activity, responsibility, things that you're working on, and you need to take a step back. And it's in these times that one of my mentors, who partnered with me in my personal development company, Robert Stuberg, he would sit down and sort of refer me back to a strategy that he used called the PEARL Constellation. Now, I've mentioned this in episodes, over the years, but I really feel it's a good one to revisit from time to time. And so let me give you a little bit of context. Robert talks about developing a formula for navigating through life. We have ways to increase our business and ways to work on our relationships and ways to work on our skill levels. But sometimes we just need something that will help us to navigate life. And this is something we need because maybe we're not making the progress that we want in our life, or we need something to guide us, like milestones or a compass, so to speak. And, Robert came up with these 5 words that I really believe encompass the essence of life. And if you're hoping to have a great experience, there are ways that have proven through mentoring thousands and thousands of people that he found provided huge benefits in direction and finding focus and clarity in what you want to do. And these 5 words, if you take the first letter of each of these words, they spell out an acronym called PEARL, P-E-A-R-L. And PEARL, the P-E-A-R-L, stands for the words philosophy, emotions, activity, results, and lifestyle. Now, if you're not getting the results, the happiness, or even the progress that you want in life, I know that you're going through these 5 things that Robert sort of would talk to me about at times, and they'll help you to recalibrate your life and get yourself back on track. So I'm going to go through these 5 areas, and I want to recommend that you do sort of a self-assessment in these areas by rating yourself now, and you can continue to do it in the future. If you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 in these areas where you think you are, this will help you to determine whether you need to make course adjustments or focus on different priorities. So what I'm going to do is read something that, Robert put together in his life handbook. And I'll give you more on this a little bit later. I'll try to put some links in the show notes. But I want to go through these areas in, words that you'll really feel can help you to create real and authentic, progress in each of these areas. And so ask yourself these questions. I'll go real kind of specific with you. What do I believe about myself or about my life that isn't true? This is your philosophy. So your philosophy, which is the first word in that acronym, is your perspective on life. And I want you to really think about what you believe about yourself or your life that might not be true. In other words, are there things in your life that you are using as a filter, as a philosophy, that are not true? Who you are, what you do. This is sort of your limiting beliefs. There are ways that you can really, truly evaluate yourself in this area of philosophy. The second area is your emotions. I want you to ask yourself this question. What am I feeling that I don't want to feel? Remember, we're doing a self-assessment here. What am I feeling that I don't want to feel? Because ultimately in life, your emotions are the things that you want to create. I know we're, looking after goals and milestones and successes, but emotions are what those things create. So what am I feeling that I don't want to feel? Maybe it's stress. Maybe it's anxiety. Maybe it's pressure. Maybe it's a lack of alignment with what you really, truly are passionate about. But your emotions are that second milestone in this PEARL constellation that I feel like can help you to move to the next level. And the third question I want to ask you is, what am I doing? Now, this is your activity. That third part is your activity. What am I doing that I don't want to do? What are some things that you might be working on that you feel are in the 80% of the activities you do that don't create very many results? Remember, we talked about that Pareto principle of the 80-20 rule, where 20% of your activities are really getting you 80% of your results. What are you doing that you don't want to do, that you don't think is helping you in your life? The fourth word is results. What am I getting or not getting in my life compared to what I want? Look at your results right now. Do you feel like you're knocking out all kinds of, activities and productivities, but they're not getting you closer to where you want to get in life? Sometimes we feel like we're getting results, but we're not getting the results we want to get. So what results are you getting or not getting compared to what you want to get in your life? And then the final word, the final part of this PEARL acronym is lifestyle. So how am I living my life on a daily basis compared to how I want to live my life? What is it you're doing on a day-to-day? Are you spending time in the areas that you love spending time in? Or are they areas that you feel like you have to spend your time in? See, I believe if you look at these 5 areas, you can continuously work on staying on track and getting progress in these areas to create happiness in your life. Because once again, this PEARL, and I call it a constellation because a lot of times in our life, if you've ever looked at the stars, back in the days prior to all the technology, sailors and travelers would use the stars, the constellations, to guide them in their life. And I believe that this PEARL acronym is a constellation you can use in your life to guide you and make sure you're going the right direction in your life. So I encourage you to take a moment and go back through this kind of podcast and really dig deep into these 5 areas, because I promise if you do this, it's something I use, it's something you can use that can constantly help you to adjust and refocus your life. And as you're going into your week, I want you to make sure that you've got a schedule, priorities, and focus that are going to take you closer to the life that you want to live, the life that you are meant to live. So do me a favor today and do everything you can to take a few moments and ask yourself those key questions. Because if you do that, then at a minimum, you're going to have a litmus test, a filter, a guidepost for you in everything you do throughout the week. In other words, it's so important that you become intentional with your time. That's my message for today. I hope you have an amazing day. I look forward to talking with you more tomorrow. And if you want to connect more, I encourage you to jump over to our site, either dailymastermind.com or jointheevolution.com. Jointheevolution.com will give you ways that we can work together. But my goal here with the mastermind is just to help you to live the life that you're meant to live. And I believe it's never too late to live that life, but you've got to take action. So that's my message for today. I hope you have an amazing day. I'll talk with you soon.